Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So, yesterday, I think, was one of the first days that I did not post any videos. I didn't post any content. And the reason for that was that I was speaking at a conference. So, I spent the day with, I don't know, 50 amazing clinicians and treatment providers. I was the guest of my good friend, Dr. Robert Sanchez, and also Jonathan Rauch, who is just a fabulous, not just a fabulous individual, but is an amazing interventionist. He's based in New York. And they asked me for the second time to come and talk to the clinicians and the treatment providers about the work that we do, right? How we use the legal system to help families to save their loved ones and obviously to save their family. One of the guest speakers actually was Dr. Sanchez's brother, who is this amazing doctor. And, I think the theme of the conference in part was about how it takes a village, right? You've got medical, clinical, and legal all working together to save this person. And it was interesting because when I heard Dr. Robert Sanchez's brother, who came in for Texas to talk to us, he talked about how long does it take for recovery and what do the statistics look like, after a year or after 5 years. And if you've watched any of my other videos, I've told you that in our experience, it takes typically 1 year, right? 1 year for someone not only to experience recovery, but more importantly, to be able to maintain recovery for the rest of their life, right? Because if you call us and you've made that commitment, and I know by the time you get to us, you're tired. You may well have tried treatment that for whatever reason didn't work. Maybe you even tried the legal, using the law, and it didn't work for whatever reason, right? And I'm not here to poo-poo anybody. You just didn't get the result that you needed, okay? And we tell families, probably a year-long process, okay? And you don't have to hire us for a year, although it's not unusual for us to be in the case for a year. I mean, we're obviously not billing for for all of that time, right? The bulk of the work is going to be done up front in a very rapid process, right? We're going to be in court very quickly. Typically, sometimes, we may be filing something within 12 hours or 24 hours and getting a court order, very quickly. Or if there's a hearing, 2 days, could be 3 days, 4 days, but you get the idea. This is a very fast and rapid process, and obviously our firm is geared to working that way. But it's a year-long journey, right? And it's interesting because Dr. Sanchez, talked about that, and I wanted to share this with you because it's so important for families to understand, right? Because I know that you want to get this right the first time. The statistics of this: if you can get somebody in recovery and keep them in recovery for a year, there's a 70% chance that they don't relapse. 70%. If you can get them to 5 years, it's 83%. So I thought those were interesting statistics, especially the 1 year, right? 70% chance. What are the statistics? What's the likelihood that if you don't keep them in recovery for, that year, what's likely to happen? What happens if you don't do anything? I think you know the answer to that. In all likelihood, the chaos is going to continue. And every year we speak to a family that has lost somebody, okay? And usually it's because for whatever reason, and look, it's a no judgment zone in our office. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to give you options. The families that typically don't do anything end up, unfortunately, suffering the consequences, right? Which can be, somebody dies. I don't know how to sugarcoat that for you, right? But I gotta tell you honestly, right? And if you've watched any of my other videos, I hope that you know I always come from a place of love, but I'm never gonna be dishonest with you and tell you, oh, I can do this or I can do that, or don't worry about it. I'm gonna have an honest conversation with you, one about how long this takes, what it involves in terms of a commitment of time, energy, and resources, and what's the likelihood of success. And if we cannot help you, we're going to tell you that. And there's a myriad of reasons that we can't help you, right? Maybe we just don't have enough evidence, okay? And if we can't help you, is there another option, right? Is there another option besides the law? If there is, my team's going to say, listen, here's another option, right? Because at the end of the day, the mission is to save families, and that doesn't always mean that it involves us, okay? It doesn't always mean that. Sometimes it might involve a combination of non-legal and legal and clinical, right? So again, it takes a village. But I wanted to share that statistic with you because, we get calls from people from time to time that say one of two things. Oh, the treatment doesn't work. The law doesn't work. Or I only want to put my loved one into treatment for 30 days. First of all, if you honestly believe it doesn't work, and we've been doing this work for the last 10 years very successfully, then I can't convince you that it does, okay? I can't convince you that it does. I know that it works if you work the program, which means that you don't have us start, stop, start, stop, right? If your loved one's in treatment, you don't say, oh, I don't need you anymore. He's got it or she's got it. They don't got it. Not for the first year, they don't got it, okay? Because if you make a start and stop, then yeah, it's probably not going to work, okay? If you don't work the program, the likelihood of success is slim, okay? So yeah, we get great results, but it takes time. You got to work the program. So I get families who say it doesn't work, okay? And I can't convince you it does, other than to share results. Or I get families that say, I just want to do 30 days. I'm not going to take that case in all likelihood. Why? Because I know what happens on day 31 or day 32. It's going to be a relapse, and we're going to be right back to square one. I want to get this right for you the first time you've come to us to save your family. I built this law firm on helping people to save their families. That means we've got to get it right. But it also means it takes a little time. And I know that you've been dealing with this probably for years and years. Okay? And it takes a certain level of commitment. So I wanted to share that with you. Depending on which platform you're watching this video on, I'll try and attach some photographs. Get to see me in a shirt and tie. I know you're used to seeing me like this, but to be honest with you, unless I'm speaking publicly or in a courtroom, I'm just not that guy who's going to sit in a suit and tie and, and lecture you. It's just not who I am. I hope you know that. But anyway, I'm interested to hear your thoughts, your comments, your questions. Let me know what you think. If there's an issue in your family that I haven't made a video about, let me know. I'll make you a video because I want you to have the information. And if it's affecting your family, I bet it's affecting somebody else's too. We want them to have the information as well. If you like this content, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want more of this content, which other than yesterday when I was at a conference, I make for you every day, please subscribe to the channel. And with that said, thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.